Hello, everyone. I'm Jess. And today's topic is going to be a fun topic. But before I get into what today's show is going to be about, I think it's worth noting that there's really big news that's happening right now when it comes to North Korea. North Korea has not made it official, but there's a lot of speculation going around that Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea, has died. And that's really big news because when it comes to international politics, Kim Jong-un is oftentimes painted as being one of the leaders who's rather unstable. What we know about Kim Jong-un is that he allegedly killed his uncle, who was also his mentor. They said that he killed him with a missile. He also, a few years ago, he's accused of having assassinated his half-brother in Kuala Lumpur airport in Malaysia, where they poisoned him with a highly toxic chemical weapon. The chemical weapon is called VX agent, and it's so toxic that one drop of it on the skin can kill you within 15 to 20 minutes. And it's odorless, it's colorless, it's tasteless, but it does have the consistency of motor oil. And so these two women caught him in the airport and they smeared it in his face and eyes, and within 20 minutes he was dead. It really sent shockwaves around the world because VX agent, for those of you who don't know, it is, again, it's labeled as a weapon of mass destruction. It was developed in 1962. It's one of those things that's so destructive that the United States has really destroyed all of its VX agent. So we don't technically have it here in the United States anymore because it is one of those agents that you don't want to get out because it can do a lot of damage very, very quickly. And so that is the big news out of North Korea. They have not yet named a successor. Everyone is believing that Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, is going to be the next in line. People say she's just as savage, if not more savage, than Kim Jong-un. So the world is at a point where we are waiting for official confirmation from North Korea regarding the death of Kim Jong-un, and in the event that it is true, who will now lead the North Korean people. However, it is worth mentioning that South Korea is working to downplay these reports of Kim Jong-un being dead. They've released reports saying that he is the furthest thing from being dead. Many of them say that he's alive and well, and that he's simply just sheltering in place as a direct result of this coronavirus pandemic. So we don't really know the truth. We will wait for official confirmation. He may be alive, he may not be alive. We just don't know, as is with all of the news that comes out of North Korea. So today's topic is the art of exclusion, being selective in business. And so I want to take some time to talk about this topic because within the context of the BTN community, the vast majority of the people who are part of our travel community already have jobs and career paths. Among the group of people who have their full-time jobs and are active and involved in their careers, there's also a group of people who are really interested in leaving those careers and creating a pathway for themselves where they can create their own businesses. Then we have a smaller group who are completely independent and they own their own business. And just a little bit about me, a lot of my background stems in me coaching people through creating their own organizations. I've also coached a number of different entrepreneurs inside the country as well as outside the United States. And so I've learned a lot from those experiences, not to mention I have my own business. So I learned from those experiences as well. So I'm sure a lot of people are listening and thinking, if you have a business, why on earth are you excluding people? And it's not so much about excluding people as it is about being selective. And when we're talking about business, most people think that, oh, that business is charging because they want to make money. And that's the most obvious reasons. Businesses charge to make money. No one is in business to not make a profit. And sometimes I feel like in our community, people don't take that into consideration. And I've seen this play out when we travel. Depending on the country, some countries are really amazing about you being there and negotiating a price with the seller. And I'm always amazed at how many people who negotiate are negotiating for a gain on their part, meaning the lowest possible price for them, but a loss on the part of the seller. And that is not the purpose of a business. A business is not there for you to get as much as you can get out of it, and then the person who's producing or selling comes out with no profit. No one can stay in business for any amount of time if that is the way things are going to be. And so the number one reason why businesses charge for products and services is to produce the desired quality that we or that the business wants to offer. You know, there are a number of production costs that go into producing a product. There are oftentimes raw material costs, there are labor costs, production costs, delivery costs, marketing costs. I mean, the list goes on and on. And with service, there are vendor costs and labor costs and equipment costs, and in addition to other costs that depend on the service that is being offered. So price is not an arbitrary number that gets pulled out of thin air. It's based on a number of factors. For the sake of this discussion, I'll just speak about our travel experiences that we offer. You know, sometimes, you always get a group of people who will say, that's too expensive. I could do it cheaper. If I went to Brazil, I could go to Brazil and it would be much cheaper for me to go than if I go with you. And I'm always of the mindset, number one, if you feel you can put together an experience to Brazil or to South Africa or wherever we offer you to go, if you feel like you can do it for cheaper, then you should do it. You should definitely do it, because we are responsible for putting on the best experience that we want to offer. When it comes down to the service or the product that we produce, this is the desired quality that we want to offer, that the business chooses to offer. And so for the quality of an experience or the quality of a product, there are costs that are associated with producing that product, especially when it comes to travel. In the world of travel, for us, when it comes to our travelers, these are people who have never been to the destination that we're offering. And so when we charge for our package, we are charging based on the experience we want to produce for our group. It's not based on how much you think it should cost. Because when we deliver an experience, we deliver that experience from top all the way to bottom, from the beginning of the trip to the end of the trip, and then some. So offering a quality product, experience, or service can, will, and should exclude certain people who are not right for what you're offering. Businesses produce the desired quality that they want to offer that is a reflection of their brand and who they want to attract. Part of being exclusive in business also means being selective. And when you're being selective, you have to have ways of distinguishing who's serious versus who's there to waste your time. People who say, I'm interested in what you have to offer. I'm interested in your product. I'm interested in your trip. I'm interested. That's like, if I had to identify one thing we hear all the time, I'm interested and I would like more information is the number one thing we hear all the time. It should not be confused with I want to purchase. Oftentimes, the people who are interested are really people who are investigating. They want to know price, they want to know details, and that's it. They have no intention on purchasing, but they will lead you to believe they are interested and that they're a potential customer. Oftentimes, these people are not potential customers. They are what we call tire kickers. But your product or service offer is extremely necessary because it helps to separate the people who are serious compared to the time wasters. There are so many people who have convinced themselves that they are serious buyers. And these are the same people who try to convince you that they're really interested in purchasing what you have. And I feel like most people have the best intentions. And for some, they really do need to take some time to think it over, digest whatever information you've provided them with that will help them make their decision. For those who sell bigger ticket items, it usually takes people some time to kind of think through the cost, their timing, their commitment, can they afford it, all of that. So some of this does depend on how affordable your product is. But once we get beyond the affordability, for people who are actually looking for what you have to offer, the one thing that I've learned time and time again when it comes to business is I'm interested does not mean I am going to buy. I want to say that again. I am interested does not mean I am going to buy. What it does mean, however, is how much you're charging. What could they get for their money if they were to purchase what you're offering? A lot of people just want to know the price so they can figure out how they can buy or offer it themselves for cheaper. Those are the people who oftentimes are wasting your time, because people who are serious about what you have to offer, they buy. And it doesn't take them a long time to decide. They buy. But people who are serious about what you have to offer, they move differently. They don't spend a whole bunch of time trying to figure out, should I buy this, or maybe I should wait, or I'm interested, but I need more information. Because it gets to a point where more information is just more information. And ultimately, you're not going to be able to provide someone who's really wasting your time with enough information. These are the people who just are not serious. The only way you're able to really determine whether or not someone is serious about your offer, about your product or your service, is do they take the time to go in their wallets and purchase what it is that you have to offer them. You know, I get this all the time when it comes to BTN, and, you know, people call all the time and want to know different things about our trips. And it always amazes me how many people believe that I take them seriously when they start saying, well, can you send me this piece of information? It's like you have me on the phone, I'm talking to you, I'm explaining everything to you. You can ask me whatever question. And when you're ready to buy, you'll get something in writing that's going to tell you everything you need to know. I just say, as business owners, you have to be selective, because you don't want to have a bunch of people who waste time requesting information from you and they don't take the time to put their money where their mouth is. People who are serious make money moves, and that's just what it is. Being exclusive and selective is a process of elimination, because ultimately quality and price eliminates people. And the reason why I say quality and price is because a high quality product or service yields a higher value, and a higher value oftentimes dictates a higher price. You can and will eliminate people based on price. It blows my mind how many people feel like they need to include everybody in what they're doing. And there really are people who will tell a business owner, oh, that's too expensive, or that's overpriced. There are people who will comment on your price. And for those of you who own businesses, or those of you who want to go into business, one thing you must get in your mind is that, number one, don't take it personal. Number two, that's the best way for someone to self-eliminate. That means that your quality and the value that you're delivering, and ultimately the price you're charging, is out of that person's price range. That's all that means. It simply means that they cannot afford it. Real quick story. This actually recently happened. I had someone who reached out and I scheduled a call with them. And her first comment to me was she was interested in the trip, but she wanted to know if it was going to be more affordable for her to just do it on her own, or if she could afford to come with us on one of our trips. And when she said that, I immediately told her that it's going to be cheaper on the front end, but on the back end, it's going to be more expensive for her to do it on her own, because she doesn't know what cost she's going to encounter once she actually gets to the destination. And I did a video on this, and you can click on the link on the screen, where I talk about why solo travel is more expensive than group travel. And the reason why I told her that is because, just off the top, if you're already talking to me about how expensive it is, instead of her coming to me and saying, I want to know more about the trip, what all is included, what's not included, what kind of value do I get for my money, instead of her coming to me asking me that, she came saying, I want to know if it's going to be cheaper for me to do it on my own. And at that point, I'm just like, you should just do it on your own. You know, because the thing is that quality and value dictates price. And most people think price is about including as many people as possible. And that's absolutely not the case. You want to attract the right customers, the right people, because customers are a reflection of you, your product, and service. If you're attracting all of the people who cannot afford what it is that you're offering, then that could be problematic in the long run, especially if that's one of your lower end products. And to be honest, our travel experiences is really one of the lower end products that we're offering. We're actually about to offer a whole new product line that I'm really excited about, because these are products that I can honestly say are not available anywhere else. we're working on something right now that is really a game changer in terms of what we're able to offer our network. You want to attract the right people and never feel bad about charging what it is that you charge, and never allow someone to make you second guess your price, because all that should tell you is they can't afford it. And that's okay. These are some of the lessons that I had to learn over time when it comes to attracting customers. This message was for the business owners, those who want to go in business, those of you who've been contemplating starting your own business. I know there are a lot of you out there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and until next time.